Parents of children believed to be under the spell of a suspected cult called God's Angels inGqeberha, that's in the Eastern Cape. They say they fear for their well-being. The group's leader allegedly convinced several local teenagers to leave their homes and schools to join him in the wilderness. Now, police have managed to bring some of the children back to their families, but the cult leader remains at large and continues to meet with some of them in secret. Let's speak now to Newsroom Africa's Sipha Kema, who is following this story. Sipha, good evening to you. I understand you are in the area of New Brighton, about to engage with one of the families. How worried are they that the longer this person remains at large, the more vulnerable are their children?
Well, yes, Polly, they are very worried as families and parents, and those parents that I was speaking to throughout the day, and also various family members like Sbahle, the one I'm going to speak to now. She's the older sister of one of the boys, and more like a legal guardian, really, to him. And her worry is the condition in which the children came back in, and how the behavior they showed, Koli, showing, behavior of being more aggressive, especially when the subject is being broached about this suspected cult. And also, the other worry is that maybe the children might go missing again, like they did in June. And let's bring in Sbahle now, Koli, because there's, something she said to me off camera, just, to sensitize us that as we're about to do this, your brother wants nothing to do with this interview, wants nothing to do talking about this alleged cult, and you are preparing us for that in case he says or does anything while we're here.
Yeah, it's a very, I don't want to say it's a very sensitive topic to them, but whenever you mention the guy's name, a quick reaction comes up, and it's very scary. And my fear is that they might do something to themselves or even us. Because if you see the video that I shared, one of the kids got very aggressive to a point where the parent had to get physical because they wanted to get physical with us. And that's what they said. If we do anything to that guy, then we will sort of get punished by God or something like that. Yeah, something along those lines.
And this is exactly the same thing that he said to you and his behavior yesterday when he found out that we've been probing and asking questions about this leader as well as the alleged cult.
Yeah, his exact words were, continue doing it and God will punish you. Yeah. That's what he said.
Now, Sbahle, I just want to also understand your brother's, how old is your brother? Because I believe some of these children, 3 of them are underage, but then the rest of them are actually 18 years old.
Yeah, most of them recently turned 18 because my brother turned 18 on the 14th of June. The following week, that's when he went, they all actually went missing. And one of them turned 18 on the Wednesday. And he went missing on the Thursday. Now, what I saw is that they were very smart about this because as from last year, but I didn't pick it up. I didn't think that like things would get this far. There's a book that they were all reading, How to Manipulate the Mind.
What?
Yeah, I saw it somewhere. I don't know where it is now. So I believe the guy trained them on how to sell the story to us because some of the parents actually thought like this is a good thing, like our children are like believing in man in the world, in the word of God. They are attending church and everything like that. But little did they know that this is like actually deeper and it's not what it seems like.
Let's talk about the change of behavior because that's when you started picking up that something was amiss. The change in behavior and the things that they were doing that some of the parents and families found odd.
What I found out, firstly, is we are Catholic here, and we grew up in a Catholic church. Osima has been a server since he was 6 years old. So I never thought that he would like suddenly change churches. But I was like, no, man, it's fine. Maybe he's like growing and he wants to do his own thing, which was like cool. It then started when he said he wants to live a sinful life, like a sinless life. And he started telling me about how most of these churches, they do not believe in God, but they just use the word of God. And suddenly they had like these gifts. All of them have gifts, that they are prophets and they are able to see and predict the future. I was like, no man, something is odd here. But and then he started like every day, whenever he didn't come straight home from school. He would always like come back. He leaves the house at 6:30. He comes back at 9 p.m. Right? And I was like, Sima, what kind of church is this? Where is this church? What are you guys doing? Because it's very odd. It's very odd. And then he started telling me that, no, we are prophets. That's when I thought like they're talking about a grown guy here. I'm like expecting a 50-year-old or 60-year-old. I was so surprised to hear that this is a 28-year-old, actually. And so he started like coming, whenever he comes home, he would preach to me, tell me how what we're doing is not right, and they are destined to change the world and whatnot.
And the changes talking about the school, dropping out of school, you know, and also how this has affected the family, really, the emotional toll and the mental toll as well.
One thing I wanted for my brother is for him to finish school, for the studies, become something of himself. So when he told me that school is not in the Bible, I was like, what? What do you mean school is not in the Bible? He even broke his glasses because apparently, sorry.
He broke his glasses.
He broke his glasses because they make him see evil things that he's not supposed to see of this world. These are his glasses. He's now like partially blind because he can't see. So I was like, Sima, no man, this is like odd. And then he told me he was supposed to go to as Geabaxhosa, we have a Look, and then he told me that he's not going there because it's ungodly and it's not healthy for him and whatnot. I was like, no.
Now, this whole time we're talking, Sima is right in the bedroom, and I guess that's why you sensitized us.
He doesn't care. He literally doesn't care about you guys being here, and he might leave. Trust and believe, and when you guys leave, I am pretty sure I'm gonna get it. Like, he's going to be...
Do families feel safe? Because I'm under the impression, not just you, the way that you're speaking and how nervous you get when you talk about the reaction. I'm seeing this with the other mothers, especially one of the other mothers here in New Brighton, that they call Umaga Atule. She was also frightened.
Umaga Atule recently lost one of her sons. So now her fear is that she might lose Atule. So I think she's trying by all means to protect him. And I understand her fear. I feel it. And same with Usima. I do not want him like going around and like this is just not on. Like it is honestly not on. It's not right. And
what do you want to happen right now? What are you hoping for in terms of seeing the change that you would like, Sima to get help as well?
I actually wish all the children get like psychological evaluation, because what this guy did to them is huge. And I don't think even he himself can undo what he did. Because right now, I honestly wish that he can undo what he did and actually tell these children what he told them. He told them like plain lies. This is like plain. And it's quite sad seeing young boys like them. They have a bright future ahead, and now they're literally throwing it away.
All right, thank you so much, Sibahle. Thank you for sharing your story with us as well. I mean, Xoli, a difficult story for these families, really, to be honest with you. And I think one can really grasp it, really, when you are there and when some of these parents are actually having a conversation with one of the children, as we also did have a conversation. And I mean, Sibahle also alerted us that besides the letter that these children had actually written to tell their parents not to look for them. If they look for them, they're going to get into trouble. There'll be a baptism of fire as a form of punishment for the whole family. But also, this alleged leader is also telling them to just be on the down low for now, but they are still seeing him, they are still meeting with him. And one of the former members who left the group was telling us that they still also recruiting other children from other churches. He goes around different churches and sits there at the back. He does not have his own church or even a building with a church to his name. He goes around several churches, and then eventually where they were found by the police and some of the parents in a far out place called Westville, really over a hill down the mountain in the wilderness.